Getting these started. Yay! Hi, everybody. What's going on? It is Michelle Rockwood and Laura Wick here today, back for another little heart-centered sales, love, and inspiration for all y'all today. I'm really stoked. Michelle and I were just connecting about our subject today, which is why the sales conversation is key to everything in your business. And I would also like, if I could add a subtitle to this, it's also the thing that most people avoid at all costs in their business. And they wonder why they are spinning their wheels and struggling and getting frustrated and not feeling like they have the audience, the marketing, the emails, the whatever, to have a business. So that's a really long title though. So we decided to shorten it.
I think the word key isn't even strong enough, Laura, right? That the sales conversation is your business. Yeah.
Oh, snap. Yes. Yeah. And it's very much like if you were to think about, because we love body, mind, and the physiology, the sales conversation is literally the heart of your business. It is the thing that is pumping the blood and the oxygen to every aspect of your business. And it's vital, right? If you don't have a heartbeat, that's it. If you don't have sales conversations, you don't have a business.
I love that you said the word embodiment, which we're obsessed with around here.
Yeah.
But that sales conversation is the heart, is the embodiment that pumps the blood. And when you come into and have it, I don't know, it's clicking for me again. When you come into that embodied sales conversation, all those other pieces of your business are going to thrive. And so often we skip the embodiment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we skip the sales conversation because we think it's not embodiment, which obviously this is very much of what we teach. But, and I think so many people skip the sales conversation because as we've talked about, it feels gross, yucky, manipulative, all that stuff. So I see a lot of you joining us live here today. So if you are joining us live, please say hello in the comments.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
Hey, what's up? And if you're watching the replay, also please say hello. Let us know where you're joining us from. And so we kind of have a couple things that we wanted to talk about around this idea that one thing that I see, it's like, a lot of heart-centered service providers have this thing of once I have this perfect, then I'll go and sell the thing, right? So once I have
website, perfect. Mm-hmm. Yes, website is the first thing that coaches do. And I'm always like, okay, all right, well, I'll see you back later when the website, 100%. Once I have an audience on my Facebook business page, once I've built up my Facebook group, my private group, big enough, then I'll be ready. Yeah.
Once I have my program put together, perfect, all recorded, outlined, done, and complete, then I'll go have my sales conversations. Then I'll go ask people to join me.
Once I figure out Kajabi, once I figure out, Member Vault, once I figure out and learn that thing, now I'll be ready. Now I'll have proof of my value and I can start to have those sales conversations.
Yeah.
This is what we're describing here is years of work. Mm-hmm. And without the sales conversation, actually never mastering it, right? Yeah. Never truly hitting it home with the email, never hitting it home with the website. And I'm so sorry, you guys that built your beautiful websites. I know I've done this. I have 3 websites that are so dusty. And I've been there. We've all been there where you complete a coaching program, right? You're ready to go. You haven't had one sales conversation because you want proof. And the website feels like proof. Mm-hmm. So then you go write this website. That's what you came up with in your basement. God love you. It was beautiful. It was perfect. It was wonderful. But it wasn't in response to your clients because you didn't have those sales conversations yet. So there's that little tiny thing that misses the mark. That's the difference between selling your programs like crazy, right? And it's just something being a little bit off, but looking good.
Well, we could go down the website hole because there's also this fun thing that I see people get caught up in of I need to know who my ideal client is. And then I'll do my website, and then I'll write my emails, and then I'll do this. And so I know, I'm curious if anybody has ever felt this way. Like,
have you done any of these things? Put a 1.
Right.
Have you done any of these things?
And earlier this week, so it's funny, I had an interview with Anna Goldstein around confidence. And one of the things that she shared, which was such a compliment, is when she had this idea to do a podcast. And this is how I operate. I was like, great, go do it. Right. Okay. Go do it. So, and I think it's the same thing with the sales conversation. It's this idea that we think we have to have it perfect, ready together before we can take the thing and go and present that opportunity to a potential client. And the thing is, what I have learned, and, I can tell you, I have friends that are still working on their courses that we started at the same time when I started.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
But you're much further ahead.
Right.
Yes. 10 years ago.
I have friends that are still putting together their courses that we started at the same time. And in that time, they haven't sold anything. And I've built a 7-figure company. And the reason was because the first thing that I did wasn't go get the course perfect. I didn't go spin my wheels trying to figure out who the perfect client is. I didn't try and get my marketing message totally on point. What I did is I went and I talked to people. And I had conversations. And in those conversations, right, I listened to what are the challenges and the struggles that they're talking about? What are the hopes and dreams and wishes that they have? What are the blocks that are stopping them from achieving that? Right? And I listened. And in this, I was like, what solutions or what would I do to help this person? Right? And this is the key. When I was talking to somebody and felt connected to somebody and felt like I could understand their problem and I could guide and support them into stepping into what they wanted, I invited them to work with me. And I got paid to create my programs. I got paid to get really super clear on who my audience is. I got paid to build the membership site, right? To figure out the messaging in my marketing. I got, half the email, actually not half. Let's go like 98% of the emails that y'all read from me is because I was talking to somebody who asked me a question and I said, why don't I just write this email and send it to everybody? Yeah. It's because I had these conversations that everything got created. It was not the opposite. I'm curious what you're thinking right now, because you're totally leaning in.
No, I mean, obviously, preach, but what you're describing is engaged listening. Mm-hmm. And everyone who did a coaching program, everyone who set out to be a heart-centered service provider, in one of their core values is engaged listening and really working on their engaged listening. And that is what you're doing here. That is when you're having those conversations with people, when you're coming into your own body and really being heart-centered and thoughtful and engaged listening, that's where your brilliance came out. That's where that email came out. But when you're creating a website, having never done a sales conversation, you're speaking. You're speaking at someone. You're not listening. And so a embodied website, and an email that's really from a heart-centered space, first came engaged listening.
Yeah.
And that step comes through the sales conversations. Mm-hmm. And it all stems, it's the heart of it, right? It's like you were talking about, now your email is spot on because you just had that conversation with somebody. Now your offer is modified because you had that conversation with 5 people, and now it makes perfect sense to the 6th person you spoke to, right? Yes, it's not from getting the website just perfect.
And I know many people have watched my webinar, and I mean, we still hear day in and day out, I feel like she's talking directly to me. And it's because I I was willing to get on the phone and connect with people and listen and be present. And one thing that, we've talked about in previous videos that you all can go watch is that I wasn't getting on these calls saying, I'm going to sell them and I'm going to get them to a yes and they're going to buy my program. I was genuinely there listening, connected, embodied. I was, giving them space to come back into their bodies and acknowledge and honor the energy that was showing up and honor the dream and the desire in their heart and have this amazing conversation. And then at the end, when it felt aligned to say, just again, we talk about bringing people to choice. When it came to that point in the conversation, it didn't feel pushy or forceful. It actually felt like it was my heart's duty to say, I hear you saying all these things. And, I can help you. Would you like to hear how I can help you? And invite them in to have that support, So this idea that, I feel like I have something to say. Again,
I always have something to say.
I know you do. To me, like all the 7-figure, when you hear people who talk about their big launches, when you watch all the webinars that talk about creating the digital courses and all this stuff, I want you guys to know that all of those high earning programs that you see out there, those evergreen programs, all that stuff, I would say like 99% of them were launched from those people having some conversations with people, asking them if they want to join in the program, and they literally got paid to create the program for those people. And that's how they learned their audience. That's how they built their website. That's why their webinar connects with you so much, because they had the sales conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, you said everyone's goal in every marketing, every mini offer, everything you do is, I want my client to feel like I'm speaking directly to them. And the only way that happens is if you are, right? You can't skip the step of actually speaking directly to your client. And I'm having this visual of you on these market research conversations, these sales conversations, and then you drop down and you get this hit and it's like, shit, I would be stealing from this client if I didn't provide the opportunity to work with me, because I truly believe 100% in my heart that I can help them bridge the gap from wherever it is to wherever they want to go. And so it is my duty, it is my honor, it is a privilege for me to present this opportunity to you. But first, you listened. You listened like nobody's business to multiple people, right? And you really saw them and you helped them see themselves. Oh, hot damn, I can help you. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. That is so much different than a pitch, than jumping on a call, spewing out what it is you do, throwing spaghetti at the wall, and hoping the client will walk through the door. It's just not how decisions are made.
Yeah. Cool. I feel like we all just went to church there. So if that resonates with any of you, please let us know. And you said something in there of, and now my brain is just breaking. This is like every program I have ever launched started with me talking to people.
Even today. Last month, people. Yes. Last month.
Yes,
not
totally.
In the past.
Every single time we are going to do something new, every single time we're playing with different opportunities and offers, we talk to people. Right. So I know a lot of you, I think the bro marketing world has put out this thing that like, the evergreen, all this stuff, like
these poor bro marketers. We keep like talking about
I just want to,
not all dudes.
I mean, obviously I have a webinar that has brought in over $3 million. Like I'm grateful for that. So, and it's evergreen and that's happening and all the stuff. And it started because I had conversations.
Yeah.
So this idea that you're going to do all the things first and then enroll people into your programs and your services and all that stuff, that's the lie. When you understand how to have this heart-centered conversation, when you understand, I mean, one thing that we haven't even talked about today, which we might have to do in another live, I get so excited about these, is understanding how people make choice. When you understand how people actually choose to work with you, to buy your program, to watch your webinar, to press the button, to click on the thing, when you understand what is actually driving choice, right? That feeds into every area of your business. And so again, going back to what we said at the beginning, the sales conversation is the heart of your business. It's not the afterthought. It's not the thing that you do down the road. It's not the thing that you keep saying, oh, it's salesy and gross and yucky and I can't do this and blah, blah, blah. Because you're actually robbing somebody of the opportunity to have the transformation you know is possible. The sales conversation, when you, and again, this is why we created Body Mind Sales. There's a way to have a heart-centered, truly transformational conversation that provides somebody the space to feel, to know, to hear themselves, and make a choice in their life for themselves like none other. There is a way to do that that is so loving and kind, and yes, helps you write your website, helps you figure out who that ideal client is, helps you write an amazing webinar that you turn on evergreen sometime, helps you create your program, helps you do all these little things. It starts with the conversation.
Absolutely. I think yes. And anyone who will invite you to skip this step is robbing you. And that's what you're talking about when you say bro marketing, right? It's those ads that say, never do a sales conversation again, right? And these kinds of things. And I'm like, but no, I love the sales conversation. So, yes.
Well, so can I speak to that?
Yes,
because
please.
The thing is, they did sales conversations to have the marketing to say that. Okay, just put that out there.
Yes.
Number one.
Yes.
And number two, you have to talk to live, real people, because your website actually is a sales conversation. Your webinar actually is a sales conversation, right? All of this stuff centers on it. So to think that if you don't know how to do that in a loving way, you're always going to feel like the business marketing sales side of what you do is gross and opposite of how somebody steps in and works with you. Until you get that those things go together and that the sales conversation is such a beauty, like it is the gap, that whatever the gap is that you are feeling right now in your business, I can guarantee that if you understand how the sales conversation works to support your clients in making choice, the gap starts to just disappear.
It becomes so clear. Laura, why is everyone skipping this? We get this. Our clients get this from the very beginning. Everyone in Body Mind Coaching, nobody skips this step. And that's like the secret sauce to why our clients sell programs weeks into working with us.
Yeah.
Why is everyone else, like would love everyone, why are they skipping this step, Laura? Why are they so afraid of the sales conversation, of the market research conversation, of talking to client after client after client, of using their engaged listening skills to really understand what the client wants? Why?
Well, one, if anybody listening has a thought around that, I would love to hear it.
Put it in.
I would say, based upon my own experience and also based upon the hundreds of conversations that I've had, one, the head response is, I have to, first I need to do this, right? I need to logically understand this piece, right? The website, the audience, this, right? I think we've addressed that. I actually think underneath of it, it's the real fear of, who am I? Who am I? The thing about understanding the sales conversation is creating the program becomes so easy when you understand the sales conversation. Writing the webinar website or whatever becomes so easy when you actually understand and love the sales conversation. Making offers, making money, being abundant, thriving becomes easy when you understand the sales conversation. And I think the real block underneath is, who am I to do this? I think the block is a fear of being seen.
For sure. You're actually really doing the thing when you step on a phone call with somebody else.
Yeah. And it's, go ahead. Can I say?
Do you think, go ahead. Finish.
It's, inside of you. This is something that I say a lot in the body mind world. There's a part of you that is scared and a part of you that knows how bright and brilliant you are. And I think, to me, what we're talking about is, in order to actually take ownership of this, you're acknowledging and leading from the part of you that knows how bright and brilliant you are. And that is the most vulnerable thing that somebody can do. It can be. We put all these rules on ourselves of like what you have to do and what you have to prove to be enough to be somebody who earns at that level, instead of, she is already there. I'm going to choose to let her lead, and I'm going to choose to let her connect. I'm going to choose to let her invite. I'm going to choose to let her receive. And that's like the structure of the body mind sales conversation is literally just that.
Resonate with anybody? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, there's yes, 100,000 freaking percent, Laura. Yes, yes, yes. There's this heart too of, I get on the phone, my goal is a yes. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm not 100% confident that I'm going to get a yes, I'm not going to get on the phone.
And if I'm not 100% confident that I'm worthy of that yes, I'm not going to get on the phone.
Yes. So think about that. When you shift the phone call, the goal of every single call, from bringing that client to choice or simply a true understanding and engaged listening, now I'm on the phone with everyone and their mother, right? And a handful of those people are going to want to work with me right away.
It totally just clicked for me that moving, and I know this, but I know it now, like the embodiment came. Moving from, so at Body Mind Sales, we believe the goal of a sales conversation is to help somebody come to choice. And the choice isn't even do they work with you or not. The choice is, are they going to choose the bright, brilliant part of themselves or their fear? That's really honestly the choice somebody is making on a sales conversation. And if they choose that bright, brilliant side of themselves, does it feel aligned for you to offer some support in getting there? Right? That's when you have the opportunity to present how you work and if they want to join you. So it takes away, as soon as you shift from the yes to the choice, you remove the ego, because the ego is the one stopping you from getting on that sales conversation, because it says, who am I to do this? Can I really charge that? What if they don't say yes? What if I fail? All that bullshit. But when you step into that embodied space of, I'm going to hold space for this person to see within themselves, choose that amazing part of themselves that knows they are capable of more, and give them the space to see and feel that, all of a sudden it is just a really powerful, loving space.
And what Laura's describing, like, we don't just think this to be true, choice versus yes, we know this to be true. Mm-hmm. Body mind coaching has grown 400%, right, in the past 2 years. And that's because of this shift in the conversation from let's get people to a yes to let's bring every single person we talk to a choice. Mm-hmm. We're doing market research constantly on calls, right? And it shapes everything we do, from the way we run our program to how we onboard people, right? To how we support them if they're not a good fit for the program right away. To the emails, to this conversation here today, right now. And so it's so in service. It's so heart-centered. It feels so great to get on every single call, right? I have one this afternoon, right? I can't wait to get on that call because I get to learn what she needs. I get to learn how and if we can serve her, right? Or what her next steps are and how I can support her in that. And that feels good every single time.
I love that. Awesome. I have an invitation and a challenge. First is Michelle and I put together a fun little resource. It's called Heart Over Head, and it's just a little mini course to help you implement some simple keys, tools, skills that are rooted in embodiment practices for you to implement right now. So you can get that at thenewbodymind.com/sale. Sale or sales? My brain.
Sales. There's an S on it. Yep.
Okay. See. And here's my invitation, or here's my challenge. I would love for you to look at where is there a gap that you might be feeling right now in your business? Are you swirling about trying to figure out who your ideal client is? Are you, swirling in the creative cul-de-sac of website building? Are you trying to figure out the perfect offer, right? I want to where is one place that you are currently feeling the gap? And I'm going to challenge you to go and talk to somebody.
Oh.
And see how that informs the challenge that you're facing. Go talk to somebody and see, oh, now I have the clarity on my offer. Oh, now I know who I want to work with, or sometimes who I don't want to work with, right? We had somebody who did this and realized her ideal client was somebody so different than she thought. Right?
Yes, absolutely. We were just talking about a client, Adriana, recently, who did her market research, talked to, I think it was 100 people. It was a 100 call challenge. And she completely shifted who she works with because her message resonated with older women as opposed to the target market that she thought was her ideal client, because she had done the why exercise forever, right? Why? Who's my ideal client? These are great exercises to do, but do them as you're doing your market research, like she did. Yes.
Yeah.
And our mini training, we mentioned this a little bit, you guys, but this training will start making some shifts right now that will help you to set your calls up differently, will help you understand why a no on a call is actually better than a maybe. It will help you understand why some of the things you're doing, like presupposing what your clients can spend and you have your hand in their wallet, right? This training is going to help you understand and immediately make a shift so that on your next call, not in weeks, not after you do a long training, but after you do this mini training, you can start to make these shifts right away in your sales calls today. So go check it out and tell us what you think. I just love the feedback that we're getting so far. People are sharing, how much they've loved it and how it's already, I don't know why, Laura, but when people see our stuff and work with us, they always cry. And I don't know what it is. And I'm always like, yes. And then I love a good cry. Why? Yeah, I love a good cry too. Yoga, I always say my yoga class isn't good unless I sob halfway through. Yeah, absolutely. And so there may be some tears when you watch this training. And if there are, reach out, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We're going to be back next week. So I have 5 ideas of what we can talk about next week. Thank you for joining us. And
awesome conversation, Laura. Thanks.
Go get that. And also go do the thing. Where's there a gap, something that you feel like you're struggling with, and go talk to somebody. I swear to God, they will give you the insight you're looking for, and see how that shifts it. And again, in Body Mind Sales, we teach you how to actually lovingly present the opportunity to work with you and all that good stuff. All right.
Somebody the choice. Absolutely. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.